beautiful.
What do I think it's from? I don't know. I don't know what it's from. I think a lot has to do with possibly Jay not wanting to drive, not liking to drive. Very overwhelming. What I know about Jay is that, you know, I've seen him on the road a couple of times. It's a scary, scary thought. And I think it's an overwhelming task in this city with so many people on the road and so many cars that, you know, it's safer. It's a slower pace. You can work at your own pace on the sidewalk when you're walking somewhere. You're more in control of the environment as opposed to being driving on a freeway or driving on the streets. It's the one thing I think he can control, you know, is the speed he's walking, how he's getting there, how long it's going to take.
I think maybe Jason just has a lot of energy and not as many places to put it. I just think Jason hangs out with a lot of his friends. He's got a lot of friends. He has a good social life. He's got a cool apartment with his roommate. But I feel like he's just got all this energy inside to give, and maybe he just walks it off. I don't know. I don't know where it's from. Nobody does.
I just walk in and I had an idea that I wanted to put in the movie, and it basically has to do with being on Instagram and opening this vein that artistically, and basically my pictures became just a story of a guy who walks in LA, portraits of somebody who travels on foot in LA. And why would anybody travel on foot in LA when it's mostly cars and freeways? They even call the Dodgers Angels series the Freeway Series. So why would anybody do that? What goes behind that? So that gave me an idea for this movie. What would compel somebody to walk? Let's find that out. And the second thing is, what is his ultimate challenge? What is his biggest goal? Go west, son, as far as you can go, especially somebody living in the valley. The farthest west he can go is Santa Monica. That is the biggest trip. That is for a guy who walks both ways to work. As far as you can go is the ocean, water. Humans live near water. They breathe. That's as far as west as you can go. A 49er searching for gold. The water is the gold. That's as big as challenge as I could get. So, go west, son.
Foul. Foul. And one. And one. And what, son? Training.
That's my bus stop. If I would have been getting on the bus to take it, but I'm in training for from the Valley to Santa Monica walk. This is the way I take. The street is Colfax. Ventura Boulevard in the Valley. And you can see it's a land full of cars. There's the Nemesis right there. That's what you call the canyon. And that's what we can't get through. That's why we can't walk straight to Santa Monica. It's the beast in color. As we walk over this overpass, I wanted to talk about one of my first journeys in high school, being a big wrestling fan, and kind of why maybe I do love the punishment, because I love the wrestlers who gave it everything they had. I mean, that's basically what wrestling is all about. I mean, it was waiting. I mean, they were just fighting nobodies, but when the wrestling manias came about, it was giving everything you had to the audience. As we see, this is the highway we're crossing over, and I had in New Jersey, we're in California now, in LA, I had walked over, I had rode my bike to the mall to buy some wrestling figurines, and I want to take this slow. I really want to show you what we're dealing with. It is a freeway city. They call it the Freeway Series with the Dodgers and Angels, and you see right now it's not too bad. Traffic's not bad. It is MLK Day, so maybe a lot of people have off. Traffic is flowing pretty good. Bus and use crosswalk.
Let's walk it out. This is actually going to be the freeway entrance. We're walking over the freeway entrance. That's for legit. The 101 North. My journey in high school to get to that mall, Willowbrook Mall, and from Nutley, New Jersey to Willowbrook. And I didn't finish. And I had fallen down on like one of these, right in front of these gates. I'd fallen down on my bike and I was down on the ground and my legs stopped working. I couldn't feel my legs. I was dehydrated. Dehydration is what killed me last time on my last trip. Not this time. It won't. Even though I had hydrated at the mall, I didn't have anything left, and luckily a car came by. It was a truck, a landscaping, which in New Jersey there's a lot of landscapers, and he had no question said, hey, you know, get in my car. I think I was trying to talk to a police officer, but I had nothing left. And that's the risk I run in this walk from Valley to Santa Monica. I might not finish. And I think that's something I'm going to have to deal with when I'm on the walk from Santa Monica to Santa Monica. I'm going to get tired at some point, and it's going to hurt, and I got to fight through it. Those are walls that are going to come up. But I feel like I'm in tip-top shape. I'm off the alcohol since 12/4/11. Do I think I'm an alcoholic? No. Have I been to AA meetings? Yes. Right now, I'm not drinking. When I did have, well, they always say nobody plans to drink. You just don't plan on having one or two, but I know that when I was watching a football game, Bronco game, going over to a Big Wang's, I had 14 drinks. I threw up at my buddy Jimmy's house, and he picked me up. On 12/4/12, can you recount that night? Jason only remembered waking up. Can you fill in the details, how it affected you, the cleaning process, all your efforts that night? Can you walk us through the house and recount the moment?
We're talking about 12/4/11, right? 12/4/12 hasn't happened yet. I was thinking to myself, I don't know how that's going to happen. What do I remember about that night? I remember us all hanging out. And I remember, I know we were drinking a lot. I think there was some football games. It probably was a Sunday, would be my guess, because we were probably watching football games and drinking a little bit. And Jay came from I believe he was hanging out with his brother. He was drinking beer that day. I think you came to my house. I had my uncle over. We'd had some dinner. We'd had some wine, a little bit of champagne. And a couple hours passed, and before we knew it, you were passed out on the floor. Jay passes out on the floor. We call it the Grand Floridian because whenever Jay has a couple of drinks or he's a little tired, he kind of just falls asleep. He puts a pillow behind his head and kind of just leans back, and that's the end of Jay. But you were falling asleep on the bed or on the floor, so my wife woke you up and said, do you want to go lay down in our extra bedroom, in our guest bedroom? So we woke you up, we moved you into the guest bedroom, and we honestly kind of forgot about you for about an hour and a half. We went back to doing our thing, playing video games, watching a game, whatever it was. And I guess around 11 o'clock, Jay's roommate was ready to leave, Jonah, so I was going to be a smart ass and go and jump on Jay and wake him up in the bedroom. So I can remember pushing open the door, and I was just running full speed, and I just was ready to jump on the bed, and I thought to myself, man, it smells in here. It smells like throw up. And I stopped dead in my tracks and thought to myself, oh man, I hope Jay didn't throw up on the floor. And I went back to the light switch and turned it on, and there was just the foulest throw up I had ever seen, had ever been a part of. And So I flicked on the light switch and I looked down and there was just throw up everywhere. It was all over. I guess Jay must have gotten sick and kind of just turned to his side and just threw up all over. It was on my bedspread, it was on my carpet, and it had probably been there for a while because it was red wine and it had kind of set into the carpet. So I immediately walked back out into the living room and said, Jay threw up all over the carpet. And everybody came in and saw it, and I woke Jay up, and he was kind of already waking up at this point. He kind of stumbled out into the bathroom, and I think he used the bathroom and then made his way back into the living room and kind of just fell asleep on the living room floor. And in the meantime, I'm thinking, how am I going to clean all this up? And not to blame any of them, nobody wanted any part of it. They were like, you know, good luck trying to clean it up. And luckily my friend Lewis kind of just helped me, just dug in. We put plastic bags on our hands, and I can remember scooping up throw up and just scooping it up and throwing it away, and almost throwing up myself, because I've never had to do that. I've never had to clean up after anyone like that before, but it's my house, so it's my floor, and it's, you know, you have to take care of it. And Jay was in no position to help at this point. I remember cleaning, and I can remember hearing outside in the living room, like, Jay was just screaming and yelling, and I found out later on that he was talking about something that happened in Chicago, that, you know, he should have died then or something. I didn't really hear it. I could just hear him yelling, and I thought maybe he was kidding and it was just drunk Jay, but they told me later that he never opened his eyes. They didn't even know what he was talking about. He was kind of just out of it then.
He picked me up, him, his wife, all my friends, cleaning up throw up, my throw up. And that wasn't the first time. I had thrown up in Chicago. I had fallen asleep from drinking too much the night before, going out with brokers, commodity brokers, putting on that ring, the one ring to rule them all. But I love how when you went to the AA meeting, the prayer, God, the serenity prayer.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let's have a great walk today. Let's have fun. Let's do works up. Go west.
I had drank